No,
So I'm kind of getting used to that opening music.
I like it. Dun, 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 dun. Thank you, honey.
I think you have to turn your speaker down a little bit. I'm hearing my voice in your speaker.
Okay, is that better?
No, I just lost your sound now.
Okay, I'll turn my speaker down.
Turn speaker down, mic up. Speaker down, mic up.
No. Okay, here you go. Speaker down, mic up. We're good.
Ah, there you go. So, what's going on, baby?
Well,
What a show tonight.
We got an amazing show.
What
Jenny Clay is here, Donna Fraschetto, Shirley, Judy Parsons, Anita Anderson. They're all here. They're all here, Scotty.
Suki, you could take my Wi-Fi connection and twist it around my neck. You could take it away from me. You will not take away this show that we have this evening. I mean, you can't get entertainment like a unicorn going by and some middle-aged guy swiffering in the back. You just don't get that kind of entertainment anywhere else.
We just need a little person now.
Yeah, all you're missing are some jugglers in the background. So, you know what's amazing? I was thinking about this before.
What?
As soon as you hear dun 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 dun, that's all you have to hear. That's all you have to hear, and immediately you're taken back to your childhood.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely. I used to watch Danny Bonaduce's reality show too back in the day.
Breaking Bonaduce. Yeah, listen, this is real. This is a celebration of the Partridge family. So let's not bring them back to the bad days of Danny Bonaduce.
No, that was fun. I actually enjoyed it. I thought that was like literally he was on the cusp of everything that was happening in this world. Like that was the beginning of reality TV. I mean, really, that was when America was like actually getting a dose of what is happening right now, you know?
Breaking Bonaduce. Yeah, that was, boy, his life certainly was worthy of reality TV. Danny going to be joining us at about 7:40. We basically, I worked with Danny Bonaduce on the radio, Soup, for 2 weeks.
You did? I never did that.
I'll tell you the story when he comes on. It was actually pretty funny. He was working here in New York, and they had some like phony open audition contest that I went to, and I kind of knocked it out of the park, and they actually found old Scotty boy when they weren't supposed to. But I'll tell you about it in a second. But yeah, you know, the I Think I Love You, and
I think I love you, and what am I so afraid of?
I'm afraid that I'm not sure of a love
there is no cure for.
I think I love you. Isn't that what life is made of? By the way, back then, David Cassidy was pretty much the biggest superstar in the entire world.
Yeah.
And Danny,
David Cassidy, Leif Garrett.
Yeah.
You think there's something happening here in the making.
Cookie, if this was network television.
Onesie riding on my unicorn.
What's that?
Okay, come back. You can't just say go ahead.
I like being in my unicorn onesie riding in my unicorn.
Oh, are you in your unicorn onesie riding on your unicorn, writing about unicorns?
Yes.
All right, let's see it. Nice. Soup, did you tell her there's no such thing as unicorn?
No, I didn't. So don't go there. Don't go there.
Soup, did you tell her about the unicorn?
No.
How about Bigfoot? Does she know there's no such thing as
Bigfoot? She's mermaids too. Put them all together.
Loch Ness Monster.
They're all there. They're all alive.
And living in her room. I love it. So Danny's going to be joining us at 7:40. So much to talk about with Danny.
How was your day?
What?
You look so handsome. How was your day?
My day was okay. I actually have I'm doing an interview after this show at about 9 o'clock That's why I look so handsome. One of my sports interviews for the Only Good Network.
Oh, very well. Very well. Very good.
Tonight at 9. I'll be right here. So I've got that working as well. And you know what was incredible?
What was incredible?
And we're not talking politics on this show. I'm just pointing out two very funny things.
Go.
Last night on my Twitter timeline, you had our president saying the words herd mentality on an ABC interview. He was talking about herd mentality, and you had the Democratic nominee for president who was standing at a podium playing Despacito on his phone. So you can't make this stuff up. That's unbelievable. My grandparents weren't as embarrassing as the president. And
you know what it is? It's like everybody's. It's like, stop trying to be relevant. You're 70-something years old. You don't know what Despacito is.
Man, it was great. It was so great. Hold on, let me play some. And then listen, no politics on the show, but just the two of them, man. It was just, boy, was it funny.
I don't even look at it anymore. I just don't even do it.
Believable. Well, listen, the man is here. Danny Bonaduce.
Hey, Daddy.
Bring him in because there he is, ladies and gentlemen.
Danny Bonaduce.
How you doing?
There's your guy. Dan, how are you, brother? Listen, I was just telling Suki how you and I actually worked together for about 8 minutes when you probably don't even remember, when you were on Big 105.1 here in New York.
Yeah.
You guys had kind of like a this phony open audition for sidekicks for the Danny Bonaduce morning show.
And let me ask you something. Is it phony because you didn't get the job?
No. Here's the thing. I showed up to audition knowing full well that it was just a publicity stunt. And by the time we got done, the program director came over to me and said, "Hey, Scott, listen, man, we weren't looking to find anybody here today, but you were very impressive. I made you laugh very nicely. And then I was on with you for the first 2 weeks of your show. I see I made a lovely impression, but I was on with you for the first 2 weeks of your show while you were waiting."
But listen, man, if you write down a list of all the stuff I don't remember, that's kind of not even that high on the list. But I appreciate working with you now.
Yeah, no, listen, it was great. But you guys are waiting for Patty Steele to come up from Philadelphia.
Right.
So I was kind of like just filling in for her, doing the news with you, and it was a good thing. And I remember there was a general manager there. It was great. But you know how this business is. It was all BS. But listen, man, it's a pleasure to have you now, brother.
Well, thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
Listen, what's it like working from home in Seattle? I mean, you're back on the airwaves. I mean, what is that like, broadcasting from home? Is it like the best gig ever?
It's no, it's not.
That's what we say.
There are some great things about it, but let's start with this. I do my show into a headset. And it just doesn't have that disc jockey feel. You know what I mean? I feel like we work at the airport. So, there's good and bad. I work from a guest room in the house. I've never had a studio that has a treadmill in it. So that's where I work, in a little room with a little treadmill. But I said to one of my coworkers, I said, "Hey, I'm going to run off to the restroom." Saying, he goes, "Yeah, I got a 4-minute break here." I said, "All right, I'm going to run to the restroom." I realized, well, there it is, right there. Things like that are good.
Listen, my kid was like, in a Zoom class or something, right? They have all this Zoom etiquette. All the teachers are given Zoom etiquette. Now, they have like emojis. If you have a question, you hit the emoji and it raises your hand like this. So the teacher sees a hand on your face. So that's when she knows you have a question. And I was like, well, what if you have to go to the bathroom? I said, why don't you just get up and leave? He goes, you can't get up and leave. You got to make a hand emoji. And then you got to ask her. And then you got to announce to the whole class that you got to go to the bathroom. I said, well, why don't you just put yourself on mute, put yourself like on, with a black, like you're not there, and go to the bathroom. Got to go. You got to go.
That makes perfect sense.
I'll support you.
Since I work from home, what emojis they would throw up for what I'm doing. That might be kind of weird. But yeah, it's a whole new world now. It's a whole brave new world.
I know.
Man,
I
listen,
know.
man, we're going to talk about, 50th anniversary Partridge Family. It was September 25th, 1970, right? First episode. But before, let's work it backwards a little bit, because you have done, you've been a radio guy now for a long time, mostly morning shows. And you've been in a lot of the major markets. And right now, you're out there in Seattle, KZOK radio, right?
Yeah.
It's been like the quintessential radio guy life, where you've gone from major city, something doesn't work out here, or management changes and they change things, they change the format. So you go here and you go here. What's this been like for you, man? Because radio has really been your love.
I would say that I agree with you mostly. It's been a quintessential radio life. I go to Philly, they transfer me to LA, transfers me to Chicago, and they send me here. So it's really normal. But here's the quintessential disc jockey story through me. First, you have to become the most famous child in America.
Yeah, right.
And you start from there.
Right.
It's been great. When it was in Chicago where I really first started to do well. And it was the first time I ever had a Danny Bonaduce show. And when it started to be a hit, all the disc jockeys around the country tried to hire ex-child stars. Right. What a friggin' mistake, man. There's one funny and entertaining ex-child star in the world, and it's me. So these guys, they're running out. I'm listening to tapes, man, and I can hear this. Hey, it's Man Cow in the morning with Todd Bridges. We're coming to you live. It's like, this is not going to work out for anybody. But literally for a couple of weeks, there was an ex-child star on every channel. Yeah. I think one of the girls from the Brady Bunch is still on like a podcast or something. So, it didn't work out for them, but it worked out for me.
Yeah.
Absolutely, man.
I mean, you're working on a lot of new things, and one of the things that I thought was kind of cool was Orange and Delicious.
Oh, you know about Orange and Delicious?
Yeah.
It's a whim. We call it a cooking show. It's just a whim. Here's what happened. My wife put me in charge of ordering some food. And for some reason, I still don't think this was my fault. I needed that orange powder that makes like Kraft macaroni and cheese.
Yeah.
They sent me a 2-pound bag of the orange powder that makes Kraft macaroni and cheese. So we were going to throw it out after we made the little thing with it, whatever we were going to make. And then we started making things that we decided were orange and delicious.
Yes.
We came up with egg dishes and spaghetti, and really, I tried to make it interesting, but it's really you throw some orange powder in a dish, and it was all great. But people really seem to enjoy that. We have a lot of stuff that we're not real big on the internet. I have a Twitter account. My wife has a Twitter account. My wife has a travel blog. Have you ever seen that?
No.
It's she loves it. Here's the problem with it. The problem with it is there's a pandemic. And the smoke. I don't know if you guys know this.
I was going to say.
You can't see. I'll turn the camera around in a second. But in today's news, Seattle and Portland, Oregon came up with worse air than New Delhi.
Yes.
I
was going to ask, how is everything out west? Because all we see here on the East Coast are just
He's got
terrible.
some crazy view here, Duke. Look at it.
I do have a crazy view. Let me take you to, but here's the thing. Let's try it.
Yeah.
Everybody, this is fun. I do have a crazy, crazy view. I'm going to go outside. All right, give me 1 second, you guys. I'm sorry to put you on hold here.
Amy, open the door.
All right. Now, I don't know what you can see over my shoulder.
Oh, gosh.
The Space
Needle. Behind the Space Needle is the entire city of Seattle. It's a huge landscape from my property that you can see. Yesterday, you couldn't even see the Space Needle. It was just craziness. So the smoke is is pretty bad. I'll try and keep myself centered. That was, all the radio stuff I've ever done. That was like the most cool ever.
Listen, you could
totally, patio with a laptop.
You could totally see the haze. That is very, very disturbing. And so actually in New York, tonight, the sun was an orange. My
that orange
yesterday. Yeah, my son woke up yesterday and goes, "Mom, the sun, look outside. It's the moon. The moon is orange." I was like, "That's not the moon. That's the sun."
Yeah.
Wow.
And it's breaking my wife's heart. I'm okay with being locked up with my wife, and she's okay with me. We don't have any weird, bad habits that sends the other one over the edge. But I was telling you about her travel blog. you can't travel anywhere. And she's crazy. So we've been going to the highlights of Washington. And right now, if you go, oh, by the way, its name is what this hell of it. It's the clipboardoffun.com. Does anybody recognize that name?
Clipboard of Fun.
It's from Full House. She stole it from Full House. She's married to an actual sitcom star from Full House. But yeah, writes this thing called the Clipboard of Fun. Thank you for letting me plug it. And she loves it. There's nothing to buy or anything like that, but feel free to go to it and you'll find out. If you go to it, you'll find out everything to do in Paris or Walla Walla, Washington.
Nice.
But you know what I love about you? You said all good things in my life are from my wife, Amy, and her ideas. So
I did say that. And
so what is it about Amy that just, struck a chord with you and you said, you know what? This is it. This is the person.
Well, I have a tendency to marry strangers. And it's just a weird thing I do. I married my first wife on the first date. I married my second wife on the first date, and Amy made me wait 4 years. So I like that, all right, because she was very young. She was, when we met, she was 24 years old. I was 48, and I couldn't wait to either one of us have a birthday so I would not be twice my wife's age. It was horrifying. And it's such a Hollywood cliche. But what I like about her is she knows what I need, and I get that, and nothing more and nothing less. There are no big wild swings in my house. And I said this, I was on some talk show the other day, again, from home. And they asked me what was one of the great things about marriage. And I said, I have a tidy house. I live in a tidy house where I can find anything I wanted to because it's in the drawer where it belongs. And the person talking to me said, this is the worst compliment ever. And I said, you don't understand. I've lived my whole life in mayhem. Every second of my day up until marrying Amy was just pandemonium. It was, you got to think about it. If you read the stories about me, I got a violent dad. I go to jail all the time. There's some downsides to being me, or to bury me. And that life could not be further behind me now. And that is one of the many things I love about Amy.
Yeah, Dan, you went through some crazy stuff and you came through on the other side, my friend.
I did.
Listen, let's go back, man, 50 years, because I was just telling Suki before, and all of our viewers are writing up on the board. They're like, he still looks the same. He still looks the same.
There's a lot of forehead going on, but I think that's the angle here. I got like
Hold on 1 second. Let's see if you still look the same. Yeah, a little bit. I could see it right there.
I think that is my best hair year.
I love that hair.
And now, the Partridge Family is going through a lot of times. We've got let's see, David Cassidy, one of my great heroes, passed away. Suzanne Crowe passed away.
Yeah.
Brian Fortress, incredibly dull, which is just as good in my book.
Dan, so I was telling Suki before you came on, I said, Suk, even now, when all you have to hear is dun, 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 dun. And it takes you right back to your childhood. And it just reminds me, when I'd play hooky or I'd be homesick, Brady Bunch, Partridge Family, Price is Right was always on. Dude, can you believe? I know you guys are celebrating later this week. It's been 50 years, man. 50. Shirley Jones was like, what, 30 when she was on that show?
Yeah, I remember being that when I turned 35 thinking, that's so weird. I'm older than Shirley Partridge now.
Yeah.
And now, if everybody else froze in time, I could be all of those people's parents, except for Shirley, and I'm old enough to be her husband, which is just weird and gross. I don't know.
You were quoted in the Hollywood Reporter as saying that David Cassidy, he never did get the life he really wanted and deserved. Like, why was it so important for you to put that on record that because he was
David Cassidy gets a short shrift, really. Nobody understands how great and talented David Cassidy was. The man was on Broadway a couple of times. Then he did that wacky Excalibur show in Vegas. Then he did something else. He could play like Hendrix. He and his dad didn't get along that great, but he is every inch Jack Cassidy's boy. And I just think he didn't get the appreciation that he deserved. He got the bubble gum thing and the shag haircut and the puka shells. And he liked it. Well, he did not like it, but he did it, and he did it well. And nobody wanted to let him move on. And he never got a chance to, and he never will get a chance to. So sadly, but I just wanted to say, I admired the guy. I liked the guy, and I thought he was a big talent. And he was relegated to pop songs and things like that he didn't really want to do. The guy, this is people forget about big stars. Some of us need the money. David Cassidy had to do some of the things he did for money. He had bills to pay. He had a roof over his head. Can everybody see the picture that I'm seeing?
Yeah.
Look at that, man. How great is that guy? I know exactly what he's going to say right now. He's going to say, come on, you dirty, greasy little pizza. Because that's what he all the time, the dirty, greasy little pizza. And people think I get mad, but I thought it was like everything I said, everything that guy did, I took as some kind of compliment. I loved him. I still love him. And he's a great talent.
And after he died, I know I saw you on a show and you said that his brother, Sean Cassidy, called you and said that David considered you to be his other brother. And you were really excited to hear that. And you actually credit him, right, with really saving your career. Was he the guy who got you into radio?
Here it is. I'm not really good with dates, but when they're dates for a warrant, so you have to pay attention. It was 1990. I'm in Phoenix, Arizona. I got arrested for some outlandish crime. When I go, they say go big or go home. I listened. So I'm waiting to go to court. It's every possibility I'm going to jail. Like life couldn't suck more. And David Cassidy calls me up. And he says, listen, Danny, and this is an exact quote. I'm not bragging. He said this all the time. You're the funniest person I ever met. But now you're becoming the joke. Don't become the joke. I'm thinking, you beat this guy up. He's tiny. But I want to know what he wanted. And he said, I want to get you a job. Here's what I want. I want you to go on the bus with me. I want you to tour with me. I want you to do all the press. I want you to do all the radio. I want you to show up early in the morning, ready to go and be good at your job. And you'll have the job by the end of this tour. And damn if it wasn't true. I ended up on Eagle 106 in Philadelphia, my hometown. And you know what? I just did that. So he calls me up after that. And he says, hey, Danny, we're going to go on the tour. I told you about, right? But I got to put down some rules. He said there'll be no drinking, no smoking, and no women on this bus. And I said, I'm not going. Why would I ever get on a bus with those rules? But he taught me to do it. I went, and sure enough, I had a job by the end, a good job, a really good job.
Thanks to him. Listen, I saw a picture of you in front of the old set of the old house of the Partridge Family.
Yeah.
50 years later, was that like surreal to be actually on the lot in front of the house? Like
it wasn't as weird for me as it was for my wife. My wife is a huge fan, loved the Partridge Family, knows all the songs, which I thought was weird when I met her because you're 24. How do you know all these songs?
Yeah.
But she did. She had her favorite
TV Land.
I took her to, I didn't even know this. She found out about this. I took her to Blondie Street. And that's the street on which the Partridge Family house is. But it's just a frame. It's not a house. If you open the front door, you're out the back. But I went on it, and I went with her. And it was, when I thought it was stupid. And it was really fun. I had to call the head of tours or whoever it was and say, hi, I'm Danny Bonaduce, and I'd like to tour the Partridge Family house. And he started giving me a lot of crap. And I was, hey, let me rephrase this. This is Danny Partridge, and I'd like to go see the Partridge Family house. And he said, okay. So we went and saw it, and I showed her a couple other things. There's the Dennis the Menace house. There's the Bewitched house.
Oh, wow.
There's a bunch of other houses. There's a weird swimming pool across the street where you can climb down a ladder, and there's a big window so you can shoot underwater shots. And it was, I had so much fun. And that's one of the things you asked me what's great about Amy. She has a whole new perspective on what's fun. Because I said, I'm this greasy old guy. Yeah. And I said, whatever it is that you want to do, I've done before. So everything I do is some kind of weird favor to you. And it turns out, no, totally not true. She took me. She's also a big fan of the Beatles. And she took me to Liverpool. Wow. Again, I thought stupid. Couldn't have been more fun. And it's weird what sticks with you. So I went to John Lennon's house, which was, just great. I went to Paul McCartney's house. But here's the thing that sticks with me. Paul McCartney's house had an outhouse. Paul McCartney, how broke do you have to be, or how weird, maybe pre-war, whatever it is. But look at the guy now. He's Sir Paul McCartney, and he started sitting on an outhouse. So everybody can accomplish anything. You
know what? And that's really the fact of it, right? Everybody comes from somewhere. And, the road to fame and fortune is, it's paved with a lot of people suffering along the way, right?
But a lot of people really want it. For example, me. I will walk to the top of fame and fortune on the lifeless bodies of my friends. That's something you got to know about. When it comes between you and fame, you're going to take an axe to the heart.
That's true.
Dan, I listen, I know you guys have had some reunions, and especially, this time in life where it's been 50 years. And of course, Dave Madden, Reuben Kincaid passed away, and David Cassidy. Do you keep in touch at this time? Like with a Shirley Jones or a Susan Day? Like, will you guys get together for reunion shows at all?
God, no. There are no parties where we just hang around, maybe play a little cards. No, there is none of that.
But they've always been there for you, right? They've always been there for you. Had always good things to say about you. And
what are they going to do? What are they going to do? How's Shirley Jones? She's a hag. You just don't do that. You know what? It's not like I'm holding out and I'm not going to go to all the reunions. We're just not those guys. If you want those guys, talk to the Brady Bunch. The Brady Bunch get together and have very Brady picnics and barbecues and stuff like that. The Partridge Family just doesn't do that. You know why? Because the Partridge Family's cool in the Brady Bunch, and I can beat up any member of the Brady. Oh, now I got it.
I love it. Were you close with Dave Madden off screen? Because I know you guys were like you were the thick as thieves in the show.
Right. Which turned out to be a good way to go. They started writing that relationship in a lot, and it paid off. People really liked it. I could not love Dave Madden more. He, like I said before, things were rough at home, and you get used to it after a while. But the Partridge Family was not used to it. A 10-year-old shows up with a black eye and can't explain it. People are going to pay attention, and it became kind of almost a moral imperative that people started letting me spend weekends at their house. I didn't even understand what was happening because the stuff at my house seemed so run of the mill to me. I didn't really know.
Yeah.
Everybody wanted my company. But then Dave Madden and I became, like you said, thick as thieves. And I would go after work on Friday to his house in Malibu, where he lived right off the ocean. It was just, what? Most fathers do this. Dave Madden taught me how to drive, and it was dangerous and it was horrible, but we made it. Dave Madden, he had this weird Fiat Spider, a nice little car today, but then it was crazy. And we would get up to the top of Malibu Canyon, and then it's 11 miles to the beach. And Dave Madden said, all right, I'm gonna teach you to drive. It's a 4-speed. We'll do all this. We'll do that. So I get going a couple of miles an hour, and the next mile an hour, and I'm in 4th gear, and I'm going now. And Dave Madden goes, hey, you know what you got to do is, and he feigns a heart attack.
Oh my God!
I know. We start going 1,000 miles an hour down Malibu Canyon, and he did not brake. I don't know when I tell the story sometimes, because you'd get going fast, so maybe his hand was on the wheel underneath the dash or something. But it was, after that, I could drive whatever. They had golf carts at the studio. I laughed at those. Give me your 4-speed.
Oh, it's so great, man. And listen, you guys, the show was so big for that 4 years. I mean, hey, remember these things, TV guys?
I remember that.
I know. We did a thing on the radio, and it was like, if your house was on fire, what would you grab? And that was one of two things. Guys don't care. Yeah, burn it all up. When I have a bicycle and a filing cabinet, get that. That's the cover of the TV Guide, man. Yeah. I want that. That and the gold records and a trading card thing that is like my favorite possession in the whole world. If I had it handy, I'd show it to you. When we were doing the Partridge Family, we had trading cards, bubblegum cards, right?
Yeah.
And so they were great. And I have a bunch because people send them to me. Maybe you need these. And I said, okay. And then I did some wrestling for the WWE, real professional wrestling. I got paid by a professional wrestler. And I ended up being so popular because I really did the moves. I came off the 3rd rope. I took my chances. If I'm going to get hurt, I'm going to get hurt. And they made a trading card of me in no shirt on, rippled with muscles. Thank you very much, steroids. And a cape, just craziness. And they made a trading card of it. So I have a trading card of me as Danny Partridge. And right next to it, matted and framed, me, a trading card as a professional wrestler 40 years later. That's a career, man.
I have those same WWE trading cards. I've been there for 11 years now.
Really?
And I've got the same cards. And I know It's what's no, I don't. I'm an announcer there.
Oh, I thought that when you said it, but
Yeah.
who knows?
But listen, and you guys are big when you got a TV dinner named after the Partridge Family.
We have a TV dinner, which is just so weird. We have a TV dinner. We have a board game. Have you ever seen our board game?
No.
It's the stupidest thing in the world. But you know what? When you want to do it and get the little pieces, you have to break our heads off from the mold. My head's about this big, and I stick it on this thing, and I can slide around. The problem is, there's no way to win. There's no way to lose. Everything says, go ahead, the middle side, take a card. And the middle card says, Tracy is getting a brand new tooth. Move ahead 3 spaces. And then it says, Danny wants to break out on his own. Move ahead 3 spaces. Everything you do says move ahead.
Move ahead.
It's a lame game, but I have a board game with little Krip-on heads, and it's pretty cool.
That's great. I love it, man.
Let me ask you a question. Do you have, we were talking about reality TV and everything like that. Let me tell you something. I watched your reality show. It was just one of those shows that I was like.
Breaking Bonaduce.
Oh my God. Yeah. I will tell you the big difference, Suki, the big difference between you and me. I've never seen an inch of it. Never.
Really?
Really. By the time they were making it and I sobered up, oh my God, I was humiliated. I was so, I'm going through lawsuits because apparently I was drunk and hit some guy. It was just a big drag. And I have no real desire to see it. And I have a fear that it's going to get popular on like Netflix or something. And people will treat me like that guy. The guy on Breaking Bonaduce, I'll admit it, that guy's flat out dangerous.
Yeah.
And I don't want people to think, oh man, this guy's going to come to my house and break stuff and punch me in the face.
I didn't know you were completely out of it the whole time. I mean, that should be on a disclosure, like you were not. It should be like a disclosure that I was not in my right mind when the taping of this.
I was just on so many chemicals.
Yeah.
The very first, I'll tell you a story.
Can I ask you a question? Would you ever? I mean, your life has been so fascinating. Would you ever? I mean, because reality TV is kind of like a way of life now. We let people into our homes. Like when Scotty and I decided to do this, like in February before the pandemic happened, like in January, it was just kind of like we were trying to figure out. But then it just turned into like, okay, we're broadcasters in New York. We never really let anybody inside of our house. We worked at the studio, on the set. We did the news in the mornings. I mean, it's so weird to be this personal. Would you ever do this but differently again?
Oh, sure. If it was completely differently, there's a lot of fun ways to do a reality show. I just started promoting the Terry Bradshaw show.
I want to see that because I'm a huge fan.
He won me over when his wife or somebody said, I'm going to get Botox. And he said, really? I'm going to shoot Botox into
my balls.
Okay, this might be fun to watch.
Yeah, that's coming up on the E channel, right?
Yeah, 9:00, and I don't remember what day.
I don't know. Because I didn't even know that he was a girl dad. I didn't even know anything about him.
He's got 3 or 2 daughters.
3 girls.
Things don't change in the reality world. Like, I don't even know if Terry Bradshaw is aware of the promotion I'm giving, because one of them says, see Terry Bradshaw as you've never seen him before, with his pranking wife and his 3 entrepreneurial daughters, and he'll find out the most important job in life is dad.
It
looks funny.
That for you. Did the folks from me write that for you?
Yes, they did. Yes, I wouldn't have written that. Are you kidding me? I just said this guy wants to Botox his sack. Tune in at 9.
I love it. Man. I love it. Listen, do you think that this is your final stop on this radio tour? Is Seattle the place?
I do, but I'll be when my new contract is up. I'll be just about 65, and Partridge Family was not my first job. I had a lot of child actor jobs before the Partridge Family. My deal with Screen Actors Guild, my whatever it is, my pension. My pension says that I was a member of the Screen Actors Guild since 1967.
Wow.
And that's only because younger than that, I didn't have to join. So I've been doing this forever. So yes, I see it as the end of the road radio-wise, but I've been wrong before, so we'll keep I will keep an open mind.
How do you just keep that open mind and keep kind of pushing forward? Because there's so many people, because of the world that we live in, everything has kind of changed, right?
Right.
And there are a lot of people struggling, but you've had your struggles, but you seem so resilient right now. You seem very like the world is open-ended, and it's filled with possibilities. That's the vibe I'm feeding off of you right now.
Well,
so where do you get that?
That comes from, I made a joke about being the most famous kid in America. That's a fact. I was voted the most famous kid in America by Newsweek magazine. And it was weird. I couldn't go outside. And ended up in 1974. And I had no training to do anything but be rich and famous. I had no idea that was going to go screaming to an end. So 1974, super famous. 1981 End or 2, living in my car. And I'm not even good at that. I'm like a full-blown real-life criminal crackhead. I don't know that I'm physically dangerous because I'm whittled down to 125 pounds. But, I'm a real-life crackhead. And you would never go, oh, that's the guy from the party. You'd go, that's a crackhead. And you'd be right. So when I look at, this is my last radio gig for a pretty good penny, it was a nice ride. So anything that happened, it's funny. I was doing the Oprah Winfrey Show because that's how my life worked out. one or three times I've done it. And I'm sitting there, and it's me and Dana Plato and Gary Coleman and Todd Bridges. And it looks like a horrifying Love Boat reunion. It's full-blown.
I watched that one. I actually think I watched that one.
These has-beens on parade, including me. I'm the king of the has-been kids. So Oprah's going down the line, asking them what happened to you. And they go, oh, showbiz is the worst thing that ever happened to me. Showbiz is the worst thing ever. Danny, oh, I'm having a great time, Oprah. She goes, what do you mean? I just read you were in all this dial meeting. I said, yeah, but you called. And then I took a first-class plane ride. And then I had free food on both ways. And then I got to the really cool hotel, and I started signing your name for stuff. Everything's great, Oprah. And it was really interviews like that started really paying off. By the time I got home from Oprah Winfrey, everybody had called because I'm the guy. You want to talk to boring, maudlin ex-child stars, they're a dime a dozen. You want to talk to the one that thinks it's really fun and had a good time, that's me. And so I did a bunch of them, Jerry Springer, all the others. I did when it came around. I did Dr. Phil. I really did all of them. But after a couple of them, that's, I had a job in Philly, and Chicago came around with more money. And I worked on somebody else's show in Philly. It was called John Lander and the Nut Hut. And I was one of John Lander's nuts. And it was, it was weird and embarrassing. It was fun. It was easy. But then I started in Chicago, and I just cruised right along. And then, like I said, I ended up doing some really good television talk shows. If get back to your original question, see, it's also much fun to be resilient. But to be resilient, you have to be bouncing off of something. I bounce off, a little bit of horror show, and then I get here with you guys, and it's all good.
Mm-hmm.
Dan, let me ask you a question. Rumor or truth? Now, I remember you were on the radio in Chicago.
Truth.
Were you on Detroit at the same time where you would fly back and forth from a morning show to do an afternoon show?
I not only flew back and forth to, which was just backbreaking work.
That's insane.
But I would do a morning show in Detroit and then fly to Chicago and do an afternoon drive.
Wow.
But here's the thing that most people don't. They go, oh, man, that must have been hard. Well, the show in Detroit was a pop show, and the show in Chicago was what they call rock talk. So everything's kind of edgy and stuff like that. Right. So I had to completely change gears in the plane. And by the way, later on when it started to pay off, I didn't have to do it every day. I did it on Fridays and stuff like that. But yeah, it was a schlep, man.
Imagine if today's world would have been real easy for you to do that, right?
I think I'd have done it even was easy. Chicago doesn't like people from out of town. I have a friend, Jonathan Brandmeier. I'm assuming one of you guys heard of that guy. He didn't want to do Winners anymore. It was number one in Chicago, been number one for years. So he said, I'm going to do the show from Los Angeles. His competition started calling him Malibu Johnny, and nobody listened to him anymore. They don't want people. If you're not a Chicago guy, you're not a Chicago guy. So that's why I flew in and out.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting because New York local news used to be like that, but now they're like, hey, you from where? It doesn't matter, Yeah. It kind of switched gears like that too. You had to kind of be from the New York metro area to be on TV or to have any sort of, cojones or any sort of skin in the game to be able to say anything about the town. I kind of respect Chicago for that, actually.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
I respect that.
Dan, you guys, I noticed you have something coming up on Facebook for like a 50th anniversary celebration. I think you put it up yourself.
If I put it up, my wife put it up because I'm not even on Facebook. remember MySpace?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I had a couple of run-ins with MySpace. I have an ex-wife because of MySpace. And my wife, Amy, who hung up the door, said, I said, come on, we got you on Facebook. And she said, you're never going on Facebook. Never.
Never. Over. You're not going.
So, I guess somebody's doing a Partridge Family Reunion thing, but I don't really know about it yet. But I'm assuming that I will be there.
Here's just another couple great pictures I found. This one of you and Dave. Look at two handsome fellas right there.
That's a great shot.
And
can I just be honest with you? I look great.
Where
you,
was
look,
that
you look you look really good right here. No,
where was that? What year was that?
That's oh no, that's like 2007. I think. I'm just making up a number to be honest with you, but I think it's 2007. This is from my very first talk show, Danny. And I will tell you the truth. The people at Disney had a big fight over whether or not to put an exclamation point at the end of Danny. And like that turned out to be a big thing. And the exclamation point people won.
That is unbelievable, man. Unbelievable. Now, did you
family picture again? How many of those guys are still alive? There's fewer of us, right? So
Yeah.
David's gone, Suzanne Crow's gone,
Yeah.
Dull, and then there's me.
Yeah. And then we got this one of you jamming out. And you know what's funny? I tell this story to Suki all the time. So you see this guitar you got right here?
Yeah.
So I think back in the day when I was a big Partridge Family fan, I was going in to get my appendix out. I was about 10 years old. As they were wheeling me in, my mother said, well, what do you want? I'll get you anything you want. I said, I want an electric guitar.
Do you play?
I still have that.
I have a feeling, Suki, that we're going to
Don't get the goddamn guitar for you, Danny.
I still have it from when I was 10 years old, bro. No strings.
No
It's
strings.
your guitar.
The only thing I learned to play was Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald.
It's a great song. It's a great song.
And I'm pretty sure I wanted a guitar like you had right there with the red and the black.
Oh, it looks like you got it. Looks like you got it.
I still have it. And when you hear like, the I Think I Love You come on, it's Sirius or whatever it is, or I'll Meet You Halfway.
One of my favorite songs.
You keep those on, you sing with them, man. What do you do? Do you like get nostalgic? You think about it?
Well, it's so rare when that a Partridge Family song comes on the radio. But it did just the other. You know what I did? It's funny. I probably deleted it by now. I took a picture of it and said, "The Partridge Family. I'll meet you halfway," or whatever it was. So, and that was I guess Sirius 70s on 7 or something like that. So remember we were talking about would I do more radio? Yeah, I would do 70s on 7 because I believe you just record the whole show in like 8 minutes.
Right. You just record the lead-ins. That's all you have to do. Well, listen, man, it was a pleasure having you, bro. It was just, we were looking forward to it. We were big fans as kids. I know you didn't remember, but it was fun for me to get to work with you for 5 minutes.
I feel like such a dick, Suki.
You know it. He's all right. He's a big guy. He's a big guy. He can handle it.
All right, he's got something, he can take it. Well,
Dan,
I don't know what magic you pulled on my lovely wife, but she said she got real serious about, don't have any plans to be anywhere else, which is weird because I have no plans to be anywhere else. But the Scott guy, he's awesome. So do Scott's podcast. They're going to be great. So Scott, Suki, really fun, and thanks for having me.
Listen, I love your wife, and listen to everything that she says because she's right on the money. She's got your back.
Right on the money.
She's got your back, so that's a good thing. That's a good thing. Danny Bonaduce, we love you.
Danny,
thank you. Have me back. I'd love to come back.
Absolutely, my man. Listen, stay safe, stay on in Seattle, and stay out of trouble.
I know. All right, you guys. See ya.
2020 is just like that, and you got to get some scammer off the thing. The guy is like, I don't know how to block him.
What, Sue? Oh, this. What were you looking at? Like Arabic language. We got.
Yeah. You got to get him off. Everyone's like, get him off.
Oh, yeah. I see that. That's like he's saying the same thing to everybody, huh?
Yeah.
How do we do that? Let me see. Maybe I could probably watch. Let's see.
You could block him probably.
Block user. There you go. Block.
He's done. Block.
Damn,
Boom. We took him off. We took him off, everybody.
Just got blocked. He just got blocked. I'll tell you, man, what a life Danny Bonaduce has had. So
you know what? I actually think that, he is just one of those, I don't know, like it's a miracle he's alive, because when he tells me he wasn't,
oh my God,
he wasn't in his right mind during that. He got married, had kids, 2 kids during that time.
Yep.
It's kind of crazy.
I remember when we were on the radio. He doesn't. I do. His second wife, who he knew for like a day.
Yeah.
She would call into the show, and they were madly in love. And he would have her on the show literally for like 15, 20 minutes. And I just, and then they got divorced, and listen, everything he's been through has turned him into the guy he is right now. And he came out, like I said, he came out on the other side, right? And he's level-headed. It looks like she's got a great wife, a great life. He's got a good job. He makes decent money. And he's he's got a good head on his shoulders now. So listen, it's amazing with everything we used to hear about Danny Bonaduce.
I know. It is pretty amazing. I got to tell you, but you know what? It seems like he's got this new wife who understands him, who really understands him.
I saw some video of them. They sit out on the deck where they have that view of the Space Needle there. And they were playing like backgammon or checkers, and they do that all the time. And like I said, the guy's he's a big fish in a small pond now out in Seattle. He's got a popular radio show, and listen, if you could do it, it's it's great. Good to see him. I'm really glad he decided to come on.
I think a lot of people had a great time. Hey, Debbie Hollinger wasn't feeling so good, so she's back on the track. I just wanted to say, Debbie, Scotty and I are happy that you're doing all right.
Debbie Hollinger, she feels good. And Suk, it's funny. I'm getting my eyes are getting so bad I could barely see the things,
the fonts.
Yeah.
Danny was enjoyable as hell, as Barbara White Manter said. So I think a lot of people really enjoyed this broadcast. It was really good. It was really, really, really good.
Yeah, and coming up in any second now, I didn't want to disappoint because everybody says, "Where's Phil? Where's Phil?" So Philly Cream Cheese will be along any minute. He'll sing us through to about 8:30, and then we'll call it a night, Suk. Because you know what, I'm very busy tonight. I got interviews to do. I got interviews.
You're very busy, man.
Very busy.
How did last night go?
Last night with who? Brock Pierce after you left?
Yeah.
Well, it was interesting. It was very political, to say the least. He spoke to us outside the restaurant where Governor Patterson was waiting for their entree to be delivered. So it was interesting, to say the least. We don't usually have. I wanted to talk about his kid movie days.
Yeah.
Maybe and touch a little bit on his run for president, his independent run. But all you had to do was ask him one question, and he was off and running. Phil knows what I'm
Philly cream
about.
Cheese. He's calling you Philly cream cheese right now.
Phil, did you see Danny Bonaduce?
Yeah. I got 2 Facebooks up, so I got like 3 sets of voices coming in.
Sorry.
Oh, okay.
That's usually every day of my life, Phil.
Close them up, Phil. Close them up, baby. How you doing, pal? Listen, next week is already booked. Tomorrow night, I forgot who we have on. I think Tony Pace is coming back on. He's the guy who made you wheeze like crazy, Suk.
Oh my God, that was my guy.
I now, if you go to the top of our page, the Suki and Scott Show page, the first thing you see is the little montage I put up of
that
him.
wheeze was good, man.
That guy's all wheezing.
I've never laughed so hard. He just had me rolling.
Yeah, we've got some great entertainers next week. I'll put it all up later on in the week. Great celebrity guests. Phil, whose vacation did not happen because of the earth,
fires,
wind,
and the storms.
earth, wind, and fire. Unbelievable. But Phil, my wife was listening to one of your songs today, at one that you put up today. What'd you put up today?
Lara's getting into it, huh?
Lara was getting into it. Yeah, she's a big country fan, and I know you had you did Charlie Rich the other day. What'd you have up there from today? I said, is that Phil you're listening to?
Living Next Door to Alice. Was it that one?
Very possible. Very possible.
Yeah, I think that's the one I put up for today.
But
Living Next Door.
So listen, our band leader is back. We got about 9-10 minutes left in the show. Philly Babe, finish us off a little tunage, bud.
Oh, was it Smokey? You did Smokey today?
Yeah, Smokey. That was it, I think.
Yeah, Smokey, Living Next Door to Alice.
Yes.
I'm singing a lot of these songs that are, kind of obscure back from the 70s, And
you did a little Bob Seger. I know. I saw that too. That was really good.
Did Turn the Page, one of my old favorites. And
sounds good with the music, right? And the little echo on the voice. They sound really good.
Yeah, and it's just a cheap app that you get on, from yeah, and it does good. You just do a little editing. You do a little editing with it, and you sound like a star.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I think Scotty and I should give it a go a little bit. We should, right?
Suk, my wife's. I said, yeah. Doesn't he sound good with it? You got the little echo, and it's in that just a little microphone on the headphones. And she said to me, "Oh, so if you got the app, you would sound just as good."
No, we wouldn't sound that good, but maybe you would.
Hey, you got to do it. You got to do it. And hey, we should have a smule. We should have a challenge. Suki and Scott.
That would be funny.
Karaoke challenge. Everybody download that app and sing a song and upload it to your page. And
all right, okay, that sounds good. I like that, Phil. We might have to take it.
What's it like? $15
apparently use Fuel.
Yep,
it's like $15 a month or something like that, right?
Yeah, something like that. It's not very expensive because I'm a cheapskate, so yeah, it's not that much.
Just put it on the Suki and Scott Gold card, babe. We'll just write that right off.
Yeah. We haven't gotten to platinum yet. We're still on gold.
Yeah, early on gold. All right, Philly Babe. Everybody wants to hear you sing. Partridge Family would have been great. A little I Think I Love You, but it doesn't seem like you're going in that direction tonight.
No, I'm going to do, Frank Sinatra type, old standards type. So we'll start off with a little Frankie Sinatra version of Blue Moon.
Go ahead, my friend.
I like that.
Blue moon, you saw me standing alone, without a dream in my heart, without a love of my own. Blue moon, you knew just what I was there for. You heard me saying a prayer for someone I could really care for. And then there suddenly appeared before me the only one in my arms will ever hold. I heard somebody whisper, please adore me. And when I looked, the moon had turned to gold. Blue moon, now I'm no longer alone, without a dream in my heart, without a love of my own.
I love that.
At first, I thought it was infatuation. That's a different song, isn't it?
Yeah.
Probably.
In the one lyric, he says, you knew just what I was there for. You remember the old 60s show where the guy in the German helmet, the old guy, and he would come up to these women and say, do you believe in the hereafter? Then you know what I'm here after. What was the name of that show?
Oh, was that what's that music?
Yeah, I had Rowan's Martin laughing.
Oh, right,
laughing. Yeah, laughing.
You're thinking about the Benny Hill
I
show.
was thinking Benny Hill. Yeah, I was thinking Benny Hill.
Yeah, the old guy would shuffle around to these women and sit down. Yeah. You know what I'm here after? And the lady would hit him with her purse.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, I think. Well, who
was laughing? That was laughing. You're right. It's
laughing. And who used to hit him with the purse? Wasn't that? Oh my God, I'm losing my mind.
Burnett. Carol Burnett's.
Not Carol Burnett. Who was the one who used to do one ringy dingy, two ringy dingy?
Lily Tomlin.
Lily Tomlin. She used to hit her with the purse, right?
That was one of my old favorites. I remember watching that show. But hey, you're gonna appreciate this one, Scott. You like the oldies. Another slow one, In the Still of the Night.
Oh, I love it. Go ahead.
Okay. In the still of the night, I held you tight, for I love you so. Promise I'll never let you go in the still of the night. I remember that night in May, the stars were bright above. I'll hope and I'll pray to keep your precious love well before the light. Tell me you hold me with all of your might in the still of the night.
In the still of the night. Oh, nice high notes, Suk.
Yeah, that was awesome.
By the way, it was somebody wrote in. It was Ruth Buzzy with the
Ruth Buzzy. Yeah,
Ruth
and
Buzzy with the pocketbook.
who was the old guy? Who was the guy in that show? He was a comedian, famous comedian at the time.
I know exactly who he always wore the army helmet.
Yeah, and he would drive around on that on the tricycle.
Yeah,
and crash into things and fall over.
He had like a bowl haircut.
And he would always say, "Very interesting."
Yeah, very interesting. What a shame. What's her name? Goldie Hawn was on that show. Remember, Goldie Hawn was on Laughing.
Yeah, she was a dancer. She started off originally as a dancer.
Yeah,
a bikini dancer, and then she actually started getting some lines. And she played the dumb blonde.
By the way, if you guys want to come meet me this Sunday from 12 to 2, I have a wrestling autograph signing at the Wrestling Universe, Suki, on Francis Lewis Boulevard in Flushing, New York, in Queens. 12 to 2.
You gonna have wrestlers there, or
me and one other person, I believe. And it's going to be just wild. I'm going to have to wear full mask and plastic face shield.
You might have to put a face shield on, yeah.
Oh my God. I'm going to have to bring a gallon of stuff.
And then just take off your clothes and just put it away right into the garbage.
I forgot that was this Sunday. Totally forgot.
Well, I mean, if you're on the card, then you can rest assured there's going to be a throng of people.
Oh, goodness, got my picture up there and everything. Philly Babe, you let's close us out. We got one more.
Yeah, let's do another Frank Sinatra tune. The Way You Look Tonight.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah. Someday when I'm awfully low, when the world is cold, I will feel a glow just thinking of you and the way you look tonight. Yes, you're lovely with your smile so warm and your cheeks so soft. There is nothing for me but to love you and the way you look tonight. With each word, your tenderness grows, tearing my fear apart. And that laugh that wrinkles your nose touches my foolish heart. You're lovely and never ever change. Keep that breathless charm. Won't you please arrange it? 'Cause I love you just the way you look tonight. Ba-doom.
He's still me.
I'm not sure of.
I love there is no cure. That was a great show. Phil, loved it. I was singing along with you. That was
All right. Good to see you guys. Hey, thanks for having me back to sing a few tunes. That was awesome.
Oh, Philly, what are you doing tomorrow night?
Checking in at 8 same time, right?
I'll have to see because I've got a boy flying in from California.
Oh.
Yeah, and we're gonna go pick him up and probably do some family stuff. He's coming in. He's in the film industry in Los Angeles, and he's taking a week off. He's gonna come.
I love that.
Come and hang out, see his little nephew, and so yeah.
Beautiful. He can't get you a gig in a movie out there? What's the story?
As soon as I close this computer, I'm setting up my studio, and I'm going to do a video audition.
I love it.
I love it.
Look at you, Phil. Always working it. Yeah, I love
Phil,
that about you.
I'm trying to.
Don't forget to send it to me when you're done.
I will. You can critique it and then put it on the show.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Man. All right. We love you, pal.
Love you guys
Phil.
too.
Say hello to your wife.
Will do. See you later.
The best.
The best.
Phil, the best.
Another great show. Debbie Hollinger, Brenda Woodruff, Jane Hicks, Joanne, Penny Packer.
Oh, it was. I love when you say Penny Packer.
I love Joanne. Penny Packer. She's got the best name.
Artie Johnson is the guy who was wearing the helmet. He was the comedian Phil was looking for. Good show tonight, Phil. Danny Bonaduce. Very rarely do we have just one guest, and I thought, we figured tonight's a good night.
Oh, he's got so many tales. I mean, just kind of went on and on,
Yeah. So it was good. It was good. So listen, we'll be back tomorrow night. Another awesome show tomorrow night coming up, and we'll do it all over again. We got the Country Music Awards. I know you're rushing to watch that.
I am actually. I love that CMA.
Who are you gonna go watch?
I missed Taylor Swift already. My daughter was watching it.
Well, you got it on the old DVR.
Mm-hmm.
All right, babe. I will. I'll see you tomorrow. We'll do it all over again.
See ya.
No technical problems tonight.
Thank God.
Good night, sweetheart. Yeah.